You know, I feel that we really get screwed in life, not because we're dumb, but because we don't know our options. That's the problem. We don't know what's out there and what's available. So we look at, you know, what's in front of us. Oh, this looks like the best thing, and we do it. And then we find out later, hey, we got taken. Let me show you an example. Now, if you've seen a bunch of my videos, you've probably seen different glasses that I wear. You know, I got a rack full of them upstairs, but and you know, glasses in this country are so expensive. I recently got a new prescription, so I was getting new glasses and things like that. And I went to one of the big chains, you know, they're around. You see them all over. I think in our area there must be 5-10 stores, you know. And I got these glasses done. Actually, I went out and got frames somewhere, and then the frames cost me $100. Then I went and get the glasses put in, and here's the bill from them, right? Just for the glasses part, almost $500. I paid $100 for the frame, you know, and $500 for that. So that's almost $600, you know, for glasses. And it all seems reasonable because I checked around, you know, it's the same kind of thing, and I've been buying glasses for a long time. Wow, okay. I went online and I was looking at it. God, these things pop up from China. You know, China buying glasses, how are they gonna know? I mean, you know, and I had 15 reasons why I probably didn't want to do it. But after I got stuck with that $600 bill, I went out and tried. I sent the prescription to the company in China, and here's the bill from them. $108. That's for the frame and everything. And here they are. So $600 versus $100. So if I tried this first, I would have saved $500, you know. And then tell you, there's probably difference or whatever, but I don't know the difference. I can't see the difference. I can see and I can read and do all that stuff, and maybe some expert will show me difference. But man, I mean, to have $100 versus $500 or $600, I mean, that's a lot. I could have 6 pairs of glasses instead of 1. That's pretty exciting to me. But all their life is like that. You know, I mean, like even the stuff I'm using. You know, why don't people use the free stuff that's out there to help them solve problems in life? Whether it's free consulting, free expertise, and all that kind of stuff, because we don't know about it. So you know, we're happy to use it if we knew it, but we do a Google search and all we see are people that are going to sell us something. Or our friends that use something, you know, oh, I use this and I hired this guy and I did that and, you know, it worked out well. Yes, but is that all your options? That's the key in life. It's the same way with your medical doctor. You go, oh, well, looks like we have to operate. You have back pain or whatever. You know, he sounds, you know, he's got a white coat on. It must be pretty important and know all this stuff. But what are your options? You know, and that's why now with our world and the internet and everything, man, you could find so many options, so many alternatives or whatever. And so even if the $100 were bad or something, boy, I mean, I could buy 6 until I get it right. And things like that. So all the options. We do that in careers. What career should I go? So 3 people tell you, oh, you can make a lot of money in real estate. Oh, that's it, you know. And so we take that instead of, man, there's zillions of ways to make money. You know, zillions of careers out there, not just the ones in front of your eyes, you know. And that's what's so neat about the internet now and everything. You could find alternatives that nobody even knows about yet. You know, it's just a wonderful life we live in now. We're not living in little villages. Every little village is connected, and we can know what's in a village, you know, 6,000 miles away, and take advantage of that opportunity. You know, and that's why it's all about knowing your alternatives, you know, and until you make particularly important decisions in your life, make sure you investigate it enough to know your alternatives. Now here's an incredible website. It's a website that is giving out $1 million a month if you're an artist or a craftsman. I mean, like if you're working on crafts, like making doilies or something like that. Any kind of craft. You're a singer, a dancer, you like to sculpt, you like to paint barns, whatever it is. You know? Actually, what it does is, you know, or actually videos, you know, they do a lot of things for people who like to produce videos, and you don't even have to make anything. You don't even have to produce anything. It's a site that just gives you money to live on while you're working on your art. It's sort of like something that you would think the government should be doing. And they do in a way, but there's a website, private people that are doing this, and $1 million a month. Now, I interviewed the guy running this site about a year ago, and you know, I had no idea it was going to be this big. But can you imagine $1 million a month? You go on the site and you fill out a form, you show some of your work, and you say, hey, you know, you guys kick in, I need, you know, $3,000 a week to live, or a month, or whatever it is, you know. And then people say, hey, you're doing good stuff, you know. I think we should have this stuff in our life, you know, and you should keep doing this. So here's $50 a month to help you do this, or 100 or whatever. People that appreciate you. Isn't it great to get a hug? You know, isn't it great to have someone, I mean, one of the best things that have happened to me in life when I'm walking down the street, and because I wear these crazy suits every day, you know, people will come out of the blue and say, hey, Lesko, this is great. You know, you know, we love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Man, I mean, to me, that's more nourishing than anything else in life. I mean, money is important. I think money's important because we have to live, you know. So if someone is giving me money, then I know they appreciate my work, you know, so that's it. So this is it. You know, for artists, you don't even have to give the work. They're just giving you money because, hey, we think you're doing good work. Yeah. And to do what you want to do. See, and we never get that kind of satisfaction when we're working somebody, right? You're working this big company or whatever, and they get, you know, 20 employees or 200 or 2,000. When was the last time somebody came up and said, hey, you're doing a great job. I love what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's rare, I think, nowadays in our society. Yeah. So here's a way to get that. You have the, even as a part-time, you have this little idea you always wanted to do, you know, and hey, you know, I always want to make videos showing, you know, birds flying in south or something, whatever the heck it is. And you put this on the website, hey, I think this is an important thing to do. Hey, yeah. And say you need money for, you know, 5 months to keep this going or something. Well, you get that on the side, and then you know, it's a crowdfunding site that other people see it, and you spread the word around, and then people say, hey, this is good. I think, yeah, I could kick in and help you. And see, instead of me paying taxes that goes to the National Endowment of the Arts, and then you have to apply to the National Endowment of the Arts, right? And that's all, you know, who knows if that's political or not. Some is and some's not. And but all that is out of question, you know. So it's the individuals going directly to other individuals and appreciating what they do and showing them that they appreciate. Man, what is better for your heart and soul than that, you know? And it comes directly from people, not a bureaucracy, or the people who gave money to that bureaucracy to give money to the arts. Man, you know, the people who are getting really rich are the people in the middle are distributing the money. So it cuts out the middleman, so more of individuals' money goes right to artists, and we need art. I mean, that's the soul of our society and everything that's happening in the world. So, you know, it's important. So this is a place, you know, that you can, as an artist, contribute. We're even cutting art out of schools now, right? I mean, well, we gotta, you know, learn more about physics or whatever and cut out the art. Well, where does creativity in life come from? Where does that, if you're not satisfying your soul, sure, you have an intellect too and you want to develop that, but your soul creates the real things, I think, that are very important in life. And that's through art, appreciating art and appreciating art of others. And this is a site now that is doing that, so that struggling artists can now get real money to live with. $1 million a month they're giving. I just found out about this recently, that the guy's doing this much, giving out this much money to artists. It's phenomenal. So that's Patreon, Patreon.com. And here's a link to the video on you know, on YouTube / Matthew Lesko 70, and we have an interview for the Patreon guy. But man, it makes you think there's something good in this society after all. You know, the new economy is creating new ways to make money, or just even extra money on the side. I mean, crowd sharing and crowdfunding and peer-to-peer, the sharing economy, all this kind of stuff is really creating new opportunities, you know, that people don't think of yet. You know, I don't know if you heard of Airbnb, okay? This is a place, you know, a business that started just with the websites, a website, and what they do is offer like hotel rooms to people all over the world. Actually, just in the few years they've been in business, number one, they have 800,000 rooms available, okay? Now, people like Hyatt hotels only have 75,000. So 75,000 rooms versus 800,000 rooms. But see what they do on the internet, Airbnb does, they're rooms in people's houses or apartments they don't use or hotels they don't use or country houses they don't use or vacation homes they don't use, and people are making tens of thousands of dollars, making extra money out of their house or their real estate they don't use and things like that. And this company with just a website is now worth $10 billion. That's right, $10 billion. They don't even own a hotel room. Hyatt Regency, they're also worth about $10 billion. But they have what, 75,000 hotel rooms. So that's all this stuff they have to take care of. Airbnb doesn't have to take care of anybody. Just you, the customer, and their website. And also, like, Airbnb has 600 employees. Okay, 600 employees. Well, Hyatt has what? Gosh, Hyatt has 75,000 employees. 75,000 employees versus 600 employees. And actually, I was wrong. I said they had 75,000 rooms. No, they have 150,000 rooms. So Hyatt Regency has Hyatt hotels all around the world. They have 150,000 rooms. Airbnb has 800,000 rooms. And they only have 600 employees versus 75,000 employees. But I used an Airbnb recently. Well, actually, what I do, I make money. My wife and I have an apartment downtown in Washington, D.C., and we just put our apartment on that website, the Airbnb one, and we got like $1,500 worth of business, just in like 2-3 weeks. Extra money we wouldn't even know was there. I used Airbnb over in Shanghai when I went there, my son and I, and it was wonderful. Man, you don't have to deal with concierge or big corporations. It's from individuals, and the people were so nice. They hooked us up all over the city and gave us great information and found us people even that we wanted to do business with and all this kind of stuff. The things that a hotel can't do that. And actually, what's neat about this, like the people that we had our first tenant, use our Airbnb, and they clean the place immaculately. You would never do that in a hotel room. Well, here's the business opportunity. Okay, so certainly if you have room that you don't want, you could do that in Airbnb.com. That's AIRBN, the letter N, and then B again. And the business has only been around for years. But more importantly, the people in Shanghai didn't even own the real estate. It was somebody else's apartment they rented. And they make a commission. They do all the work and things like that. And they make money doing this. So all you have to do to start a business is find people who have properties they're not really using, or rooms in their houses they're not using. Or actually, you can go on things like Craigslist and see who's renting out rooms, apartments, and things like that. And say, hey, I'll do all the Airbnb stuff for you, and just give me 20% of what I get. Because it's like found money for these people at property, and they're too lazy. See, to me, what I feel that we're all in the shoe shine business, right? Anybody could go with like the Walgreens or something like that and get for $2-3, and you get enough shoe polish for the rest of your life, or you give somebody $5 to sign your shoes, right? So we can all do all these kinds of things ourselves, but what happens is people have money are lazy, right? And if you do it for them, you could make money. So if they have extra apartments and houses or whatever, man, you see, Airbnb does everything for you. They find you the customer, because they have hundreds of thousands of people coming to their website every day looking for stuff. So you don't have to go out and look for a customer. The hardest thing, say if someone gave you their apartment to rent and you had to do it, you had to go find a customer. That's hard. So now with a website, they do all the walking for you. They do all the door knocking for you. And you just sit there and handle customers and answer the phone kind of thing. Now that's wonderful. And you just do the details, making sure it's clean afterwards and before, and all that kind of stuff. And being nice to the people, because it becomes a person-to-person business. That's why I think this is going to grow, because it's a more friendly operation to travel, when you're in another country or another city or something like that. And the people are nicer and you have a nicer experience. And see, on the website, you're vetted. And so you don't get idiots just like in a hotel they have to take anybody. No, see, and so everybody reviews everybody else, and the idiots are long gone very quickly. And that's great, and that's why something like this is going to grow forever. And there's so many ways to make money on it, and one is that being an Airbnb broker. So go to their site, airbnb.com. And look at, just see the kinds of properties, and then you could see kinds of properties in your area that, look at the want ads, people looking for renters or whatever, and approach these people, or just go down the street looking at these apartment buildings that look empty and say, hey, if you're not ever here, see, like my son, he's not here on the weekends, so when he's out of town, he makes a few $100 getting rid of his apartment on the weekends. See? So even if people are living there are days they're not, or actually you find people, summer's coming up, say, when you're going on vacation, I can make money for you when you're not in your house or your apartment or anything like that, while you're taking a week or 2 weeks vacation. Why have it sit there and do anything? This is the way for you to pay your vacation and me to make some extra money. Okay, now here's a choice for you. Would you rather have a loan at 6% or at 600%? Actually, there are people out there, and people with stores, they look like banks, these payday loan people. It's 600% they charge. That's right. Now, here's a story I read into the other day in the Washington Post. This woman down in Virginia who had one of these payday loans, and she was actually at a deal. She was only paying 300%, right? And it was from a company, an online payday loan company, and called Check Into Cash. And if you go on their website, checkintocash.com, you'll see that they're not allowed in a lot of states. They've been outlawed now in some states. But the states there are in, you could just click it on and see the rate they charge. I mean, they have the gall to show the rates. I guess it's illegal. It's legal. They have to. They don't. And you see, if you borrow $50, they'll charge you only 800%. You borrow $300, they charge you 600%. And it's one of these things. Supposedly you pay it back, in a couple of days, so you don't mind paying 600% or whatever the heck it is. But at the Consumer Finance Organization in Washington, they show that, gosh, it's something like 80% of the people don't pay on time. They roll it over. So I mean, in years, and this woman in the article, she was on it for years, paying 300% interest. I mean, it seems like you have to wear a mask and have a gun to get that kind of money. But they do it. And actually, God, you can look on that site and you'll see Ohio, their rate is 682%. Indiana is a little better, 382%. Florida is 300%. Texas is 600%. California, 600%. It's crazy money people do. And I guess people don't know their options. That's the thing. And see, what's interesting about this article is that the church lent them the money. With the United Methodist Church now lends money to people so they don't have to get caught in these payday loans at only 6%. That's what she got. She borrowed $700 from them at 6%. Only has to pay like $25 a month, for that. Man, 6% versus 600%. I mean, that is... But it's alternative sources, and that's where you have to look for a nonprofit. So if you don't have a bank account or don't have a good enough credit to get a bank loan or something like that, there are options now. And how do you find out about those options? Well, to me, one way is to go to 211.org. Okay, 211.org, and you can even call them, but it's sometimes more interesting to go 211 because you could see what kind of services for financial help. I mean, like this woman, her car broke down. Okay, she needs $500, $300 to repair her car to go to work the next day. So you need money fast, And so that's why the big guy with a sign, don't worry, you pay us on payday and everything, and a little print is 600%. You don't realize if you don't pay that, you're paying thousands of dollars to get a $300 loan. But go to 211.org, O-R-G. Now that's a place where nonprofit organizations and programs are there for everybody. everything. So you put in your zip code, put in your state or whatever, and then you'll go to the information in your state, and that's a collection of all like United Methodists and all these other people that provide services like this, and really services for anything, any kind of problems you have. I mean, look at the topics they cover. You know, like in the Virginia website there, you put statewide, that's what I did, and I put 2, select your need, and under need, I mean, look at for personal and household needs, disaster assistance, education you need, employment, food and meals, health care, housing and utilities, you know, individual and family community support, legal help, mental health, addictions, transportation, all these kind of problems that we have in life. This is where you could check for free sources and not the people are advertising, because you see like that payday loans people, they advertise, they get 600%. People don't advertise and they get 6%, you know. So where are you going to find these people like that? So here's what I did is I clicked on income support and assistance, and then there was another option there, and it was for you need financial aid, yeah, for income. You don't have enough money to pay something, financial aid. Okay, when you click that there, man, 144 organizations that have help with financial aid assistance, 144 organizations. So if you're already eligible for a bank loan or something like that, you don't need any of these people, right? But if you're not, see, they're here, you know. And so now you have to do the work doing that, because otherwise you're going to get sucked into one of these people, you know, who are going to charge you 600% instead of 6%, and you may be able to get a grant for this too. And this is how you find out about this stuff, you know. But again, they're not advertising, so you don't know about the payday loan people are advertising and you can get sucked into their vacuum cleaner and paying off for a long, long time. So it's 211.org. It's fun to look at all the services available where you are. Browse through that. You'll never know what's going to come up. Even get your car repaired for free. Stuff like that. There's money, separate programs for that. You know, you need counseling for something, how to get free services on that. I mean, the help that's out there, but the poor people want to give it away for free. They can't advertise. So you got to find them, and that's how to do it. Well, this is the biggest government giveaway opportunity, I think, since Medicare. That's right. Actually, what came out of the White House recently is they're looking at how they could figure out how to give 2 years of free college to everybody. Okay, this is like a grant for, you know, $7,600 to anybody who wants to go to college. So a $7,600 grant, you know, to go to college, and then you get an extra $500,000 for the rest of your life, right? So because that's how much extra money that you will make if you get 2 years or 4 years degree. Actually, they see the money, the $7,600 is for 2 years of college, your first 2 years of college, or for a technical degree. So you want to go back and learn about energy saving technology or become a computer something or other, you know, and just take a few months or just a year or two, you know, and get that training to get a higher paid job. See, but they're saying that the jobs in the future by 2020, I mean, you know, half the jobs are going to require a degree or 2 year degree or whatever. And this is why, you know, around the world, people are getting ahead in the education game. And college is so bloody expensive in this country. It's ridiculous. So many developed countries just let you go for 4 years for free. So this is an opportunity for everybody to go to community colleges, 2 years, anybody. That's 9 million students now are going to be eligible for $7,600 to go to school for free. That's about the average tuition for a community college. Man, I just think this is the neatest thing, because to improve anybody's life, really, is education is the key to a lot, particularly at the lower level. I mean, and then see, with 2 years of college, then you get transferred to a 4 year college, and that cuts your expenses in half, right, to go to college. I mean, that will be phenomenal. Now we have more college debt than we have credit card debt. I mean, that's just a stupid way to run a country, isn't it? We have the future of our country relies on people getting education and trained, and we send them to debtor's prison instead. How nuts is that? That's why this, I think, is an incredible opportunity. It helps everybody, and more so, it helps the country as a whole, for us to compete with other people. you know, because everybody's getting more educated all around the world, and we don't do that and keep up, man, because that's where all the jobs are. You know, these factory jobs aren't around anymore. You know, in my generation, when I was 22 years old, or 18, when I went to college, man, the kids who went and worked in the factory made a hell of a lot more money than I did for many, many years afterwards. But that's not here anymore. You need the skills, you need the technology, you know, and learn about that technology, you know, in order to compete. Now, this is it's not here yet, but it's just Obama announced that he's talking about it, and I'm very biased about this. I think it'll happen, or I propose it has a high probability of happening, because how could even people who are against federal spending say no, you know? And the country is so much in the haves and have-nots, and people can't get ahead anymore. The wages are stagnant. Have been going down for the last 30 years. Man, my boy's in the other room, 30 years old, and the average 30-year-old in this country is making like 25% less than when I was 30 years old. You know, and that's not a way, you know, to live. That sounds un-American to me, right? So how are we going to solve that? You know, to me, one of the key principles of solving that is getting our population educated, getting them the skills that are now needed. I mean, now with coding skills, anybody has any kind of interest in computers, man, you could take a 6-month course in coding and make $500,000. You could take a 2-year $50,000 a year. Or you could take 2 years and become a nurse, you know, at a community college and start at $50,000 a year. I mean, that's incredible opportunities. People are you know, with a bachelor's degree making, you know, coffee in Starbucks for $20,000, and they're using all that to pay off their student loans. You know? Now that's nuts, or that's coffee or something. So this is interesting. Watch it. Tell your congressman, write them, you know, and go to what is that? Votesmart.org. You can find your congressman and senator there and tell them to vote for this sucker, you know. So we have a chance to get ahead in this country, and everybody else does too. Okay, next you're going to see the results of actually part of a Google Hangout we did recently, where we had 9 people. You're going to see the answers, how we helped 9 people, you know, solve their financial problems with just giving them a website. You know, it's great. So you can see the answers and everything of the questions. Like one wanted to pay off their student loans, okay? Show you where the answer is this. Or somebody needed $25,000, $35,000 to start a food truck. Or how about fix up a roof? This is what somebody else needs money for. Or tuition for their 2 sons. Or help pay their mortgage. They couldn't pay their mortgage anymore. Or it was an interesting question, and you'll see the answer to this too. A tattoo artist was looking for money. Or somebody wanted to publish a book. And where do you get money for that? Okay. Or a person who was on SSI and they needed extra living money. And we'll show you how to get all that too. Or here's a neat one, the best tricks for crowdfunding, so you get free money to do anything on the internet. So watch this. And actually, then sign up for the next Google Hangout if you go to our website, or actually just go to YouTube, youtube.com/MatthewLesko70, and make sure you know about the next one. But watch these answers, they're fun. I have some questions here that people wrote in earlier. There's a gentleman, and by the way, I'll have that link for the Nobel Peace Prize. It's AM Turning, TURNING .AMC, which is Association Computer Machinery.org, okay? Or if you Google A.M. Turner, Association Computer Machinery, $1 million, you'll find it that way too. Okay, now let's solve some problems. Okay, here's a fella. His handle that I got on the Hangout is CFAVREAU. So if you're there in the crowd, I'm answering your question. You want to pay off your student debt. You're not alone. A lot of people are, you know, messed up with this stuff. And it is, now there's more student debt than there is credit card debt. You know, it's a terrible problem. That's why Obama's really working on this by not having kids go into debt. You go for free for 2 years. You know, I think all higher education should be free, but That's another issue. Okay, what do you do? Okay, if you're in debt, to me, the first thing you do is you don't Google student debt, because you're going to get all these people who want to sell you something. Hey, we'll save you money. We'll save the world. We'll make you go on a cruise. I mean, they promise you all kinds of crap because they want to be your best friends. So you give them their loan and you know they're going to make money at it. Because anybody who's on the internet, yeah, helping you, if they're not a government or nonprofit, they have to make money from you in order to stay there. So there are government programs, and what a lot of these people are doing is just put you into a government program that you can find out yourself. Look at that eyebrow of mine. My gosh, I need a trim. But I use it for a rainy day. It keeps my glasses dry. There are government programs that a lot of these people are selling you help with your debt that you could do without them and solve a lot of that problem. Okay, now how do you find them? Okay, I mean, here's the kind of thing. You could only have to pay. There's a new program that lets you pay only 10% of your income. Okay, so that's only 10% of your income you have to pay. Okay, and if you don't pay it off in a certain amount of time, they forgive you all the money. You know, or if you're really hurting, you have some problem, a unique problem, and you can't pay, then they'll say, okay, postpone. Don't worry, no penalty or anything. Yeah. So how do you find out about that? Okay. Don't go to these people selling you stuff. Anybody selling you money, they're going to make money. Go to consumerfinance.gov. Consumerfinance.gov. And then in their search, that searches just their database, put in repay student debt. Repay student debt. So you go to consumerfinance.gov, repay student debt. And that will tell you who to call, what your requirements are, how to do it. Everything you need to know is there. And also, I'll send you a link to a video we did. If you go to youtube.com/MatthewLesko70, you'll see the video that we did. And we have 3 or 4 videos on student debt. And in the notes for this video, I will have all these links. You don't have to pay a penny, and you can find out and help yourself. The name of the game is helping yourself. Nobody's going to help you in the long run anyway. So you got to do it yourself, right? All you need is a little help and guidance so you can get there and do it yourself. Because we don't know. I mean, the problem with that, this is why we're the question I Sue. We don't know the questions to ask. Would you know to ask, hey, can I get rid of all my student debt? Yes, if you know the system and know where to go. That's what you have to do. That's what it's all about. Okay, now here's another question we got. It's TORTOISEQ. This is the handle. I got tortoise, tortoise, whatever it is. TORTOISE. If you're watching or listening or whatever, this is for you. She or he needed money to start a food truck. That's another big business in our country, is food trucks. Now, I mean, to start a restaurant, you'd have to have $500,000, $1 million. That's I hear people talking about, no, you don't need that. You start a food truck. And also, if you have a food truck at a restaurant, you have to be there almost 24/7. A food truck, no, you drive it, go somewhere else, you go home. So you're more control of your life, it seems, having a food truck business than you have a restaurant business. Now, he's looking for like $25,000, $30,000 for this. Okay, I have 2 sources. I have a video of a woman who got financing for a fashion truck. Okay, now she had another truck business, and she got a low interest loan. And actually, this is from an organization where they only give it to people who don't have money. These are loans for people who don't have money. Most banks, you go to the bank and you have to be someone who doesn't need money, right, to get a loan. No, this is for people who don't have money. Okay, I'll have the link to that, and the YouTube video is a woman gets $5,000 for a fashion truck. So if you go to youtube.com/MatthewLesko70. Also, I'm going to put another video. I interviewed this fella who helps people start food trucks, the financing, the marketing, everything. This is also a place I think you'll get a lot of good ideas about how to start and finance a food truck. We covered this in the interview, and I'll have that there. And remember, the other thing you want to do is contact your local economic development office. That's the people who want businesses to grow in your area. And how do you find them? Call your congressman. Okay, that votesmart.org, and you're looking for your local economic development office. I got some more things here, but we're running out of time, so let's see who we got here. What is the best way to get a crowdfunding campaign to really make it work successfully? Okay, here's a video I'm going to put up soon, and here's the magic. Okay, two things. You got to work on your list first. You have to get people interested in what you're doing. If you put up a campaign and have no list to send anything to, then that's a lot. I mean, it happens, but very rarely. But here's another trick. So that's working on your list. People who might be interested. You spend some time, because it's too late. By the time you start the engines on the campaign, it's too late to develop a list. Okay, so you got to develop all that list first. Whether it's people in the media or other blogs that would be interested in that. You want to get that all the individuals, maybe groups, hangouts, or whatever that may be interested in. Like you want to raise money for a food truck. You want to look at people who are interested in food and restaurant business and everything like that, who may be able to contribute for you. Now, here's another secret thing that's really cool is, and I have a video coming up on this soon, you start your campaign. The best time is Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the best time to start a campaign. And it's true. I mean, the people who go through this, because see, what you're trying to do, if you started on Monday, everybody's busy, and they get an email about it. I got too many things to do. By the time Tuesday, they want to screw off a little, right? And they're looking, chat with friends. Oh, look at this thing, and this guy wants money to get a food truck or whatever. Hey, did you see this? Yeah, and they're time to do. Also, see, Tuesday is a good day. Then you have some time to build. If you're doing Thursday or Friday, it's the weekend, and that wave can't start. So Tuesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's the thing. And also go to Kickstarter has the biggest traffic, but you have to learn it yourself. I mean, another way to do it is use one of the other, because there's 1,000 websites that will help you. Use one of the smaller ones that'll help you hold your hand more. Because don't forget, any of these things, if you fail, it doesn't matter. You lose absolutely nothing, and then you try again. So sometimes it's better to go somewhere where you get your hand hold more and try it. And even if you fail, do it again. Okay, let's see, Matt, are there people that can be trusted with invention ideas? I get amazing ideas that end up going nowhere because they're too big to implement my own. I have no outlet to make them happen. Well, yeah, I mean, you have to find, but here's what you could do. You could protect an idea without anything by just protecting the idea for like a year for, I think it's like $50-$60. And I have a video on that, how to do this. Fellow who helps inventors like that, costs nothing. So if you really think it's cool, you could protect it like that, $50. And then I have to check exactly the price, but it's in that kind of neighborhood. And then you could go to your what's called this business development center, small business development center. If you call 211, wherever you live, we have 1,000 or 2,000 small business development centers that are just there to help you start any kind of business. And what they will help you do is find organizations that may be interested in that idea. Teach you how to do the research, what tools are available to find those people or whatever. And then it becomes knocking on the doors game. Most of business, most of life is always knocking on the doors game. But you have to be organized in finding the doors, where they are, where's the most likely, and start learning that way, okay? So, and the Business Development Center will also show you how to protect your idea. Don't go to an invention company. Forget them. They're just going to get 10 grand from you, and you're going to wind up with nothing. You go to the Business Development Center, and They'll even help you, show you how to protect your idea for next to nothing, and help you find potential people that partner with. Okay, are there any people, can we try? Okay. I am on SSI disability and need money to fix my roof and interior of my house. Where do I find that? I live in Iowa. Well, Department of Agriculture has a grant program for people to fix up their house. Okay, so if you call your county cooperative extension service, okay, if you just call the operator or Google whatever county you're in Iowa and put county cooperative extension service and tell them you're looking for the fix-up money. It's grants and or loans, but depending on your income, it can be a grant. Now, the other place you want to do is your state housing authority. Every state has money to buy homes, fix up homes, things like that. So call your information operator in your state capital of Iowa. I don't know offhand, I forget. And you're looking for your state housing authority. You could Google State Housing Authority Iowa and check them out. Talk to somebody though. Just don't read their, read the stuff online and you don't see it, doesn't matter. Talk to somebody, because they're the place, because if they don't have one, they would know somebody who might have one, and that's what you want to do. Okay, so we did that one. Invention we did. Okay. Tamayo. Hi, we tried to get to college tuition for 2 sons, and we tried to website you show us, but no response. Also, we tried to get help for mortgage. Any advice? Okay, college tuition. That's complicated. I don't know if your kids are in college now or they're about to or whatever. See, it all depends. But no matter what, there's one place that a lot of people forget. I think it's the biggest opportunity in this kind of stuff, is that every state capital has tuition money. For grants, scholarships, and whatever for people living in that state. Make sure you contact that. Call up your state elected official. That means somebody who represents you at the state capitol. If you don't know, contact your librarian or call 211. They could help you. But that's a source, to do. And actually, where they're going to school, you have to make a visit to the financial aid office of that school. All schools have money to give to people, and they want to keep their students. So I mean, most tuitions are half price. I mean, I'm going to do a video on this soon. I mean, nobody pays full price because they have so much money to give out to people, but you have to bang. It's banging on doors, and they're the 2 biggest doors to bang on. Okay, mortgage. Yes, there is mortgage money if you have trouble paying your mortgage, okay? The housing authority will know about it in your state capital. Because a lot of this money is from state governments, it's from nonprofit organizations. How do you find out? 211, the HUD counseling offices. If you Google now HUD, H-U-D, and then counseling offices, you will find, and make sure it's a HUD.gov site, HUD.gov, and you're looking for housing counseling. These are the people help you and make sure that you can pay your mortgage and help you do that. Okay, so that's mortgage and kids. Do tattoo artists count? I don't know. It depends on the tattoo. Some have science degrees and they could count very well. Some have math degrees and things like are good at counting. I got a chuckle out of my son. Sure, you're a legitimate business. It doesn't matter. If you have a business, no matter what it is. I mean, I've seen where the government financed porno shops on 42nd Street, right, through the SBA, and it was through the SBA venture capital program, right? So you're more legitimate than that, at least in my mind. So yes, now how do you do that? It's really through that economic development office. You get help. I mean, I have great videos on that. Show you all the help that is available on for any kind of marketing help, financial help, getting government contracts. I mean, maybe, maybe people what tattoos who work for the government, they'll pay you to do that. So the answer is yes. Somebody said, thank you for the answer. Okay. I want to publish a book. Who do I get in to get free money to do it? Okay, publishing a book. There are two websites I think are great. I will give you the websites. I will websites for book publishing. I forget them offhand. And you are Francis, that's right? Is that where we are? Yeah, okay. So that's for Francis, FRANCIS 3620003. I'm going to put the links to videos we have of the two websites that help you do that. There are two crowdfunding sites now that I think are the best place to go there. I mean, traditionally, like when I was writing books, you found a literary agent. And there are books in the library that give all the literary agents. You contact each one of those. They're the people that sell to publishers. But now publishing is so different. And the better way is to go through crowdfunding because it costs nothing. It's all right here. It's like an Airbnb for people who want to write books. And I will get you them. And beat on me. If you don't see it, you can just email me at leskofreeradio@gmail.com, leskofreeradio@gmail.com. I'll send you the two interviews we have with those people, and they're good folks too. As someone on SSI, pay for living expenses when we can get help and get out of a rut. Well, yes, you're on SSI, then you have to look for other programs. I mean, the programs, I mean, that's just one program, SSI. So now you know you have low income. So like, how do you pay for other things? Are you taking prescription drugs? Well, there's programs that will help you pay for your prescription drugs. How about your utility bills and electric bills? The other programs that pay for that. A good place to start, I hope you know about your community action agency. Community action agency. Local, if you Google community action agency and look for a directory or the local office, but local office, community action agency, you'll find the local office for you. They're the people that really are paid by the government to help people who have lower income figure things out and solve economic problems like that. So they're getting grants to help you. See, I have to get paid, but make sure you touch base there, and really check around our site. I mean, it's learning alternatives. I mean, it's things you want to do something. There's so many jobs now that you can do even with a disability. You don't have to go out. I mean, I don't go out. I do my stuff, So even with transportation and all this kind of stuff, I mean, there's so many ways. I have a video here of like 50 ways you can make money here. Like Mechanical Turk. Have you ever heard of that? Mechanical Turk is a way. I mean, you're not going to make a zillion dollars, but it's an Amazon product that gives little jobs to people all online. So if you know how to use the internet or know how to type on a keyboard, that's all you have to do. There's jobs like that. Mechanical Turk. So there's other ways to get money. Crazy Eagle from Frisco, Texas. Oh, maybe I'll have a question. Chip, what was the best way to get a crowdfunding campaign to really make it work successfully? Hi, Chip. Chip's a great guy. He had a great campaign. I interviewed him. He has this great thing that you put this like it's a poster on the wall that lights up as the night sky when you turn the lights off in your room. Think of what all kids will do that. And he's trying to figure out the campaign. What's neat about Chip too, he has a disability that he just got, a Tourette syndrome kind of thing that he sounds like he's a football player. He's saying hut, 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 hut all the time, and he's just charging through, trying to figure out life like the rest of us, even with a disability. And so it's trying more. I mean, and I know he's tried a thing or two. Try other websites. And I think, Chip, I don't know if you heard earlier, we talked about, you got to compile that list ahead of time, before you run the campaign. And also, Chip, what is that Patreon? We talked about that earlier. That's for artists. That's what you are. Artists that just give you money because you're a cool guy. Look at that. That's Patreon. Patreon. Patreon.com. And Chip's a cool guy. So that's a. Oh, why did I miss that? Now I take some. Okay, now here it is. Okay. A bum off the street. Oh, yeah, they help her. Well, our hour's up, and it was awfully nice. We got through almost everything I wanted to, and then some. And I'm sorry if people didn't find us.
Well, I'm going to give you 5 more reasons why you shouldn't go to a for-profit college, particularly the 2-year colleges. And actually what came out is some data from the White House and the Department of Education, because they're trying to regulate them more. Because, see, actually, here's what the data show, okay? At a for-profit university, they have, the college is for-profit, 2 years and stuff. 13% of the people in college are going to these places. But 50% of the student loan defaults are from these places. So the people going to these colleges are defaulting, represent 50% of all the student debt defaults, means they can't pay their debt, but are only 13% of the students. So there's something going on there. Okay, here's another thing. The average 2-year for-profit university, has, when you graduate, you have a debt of $23,590. Okay, so that means you're going to graduate after 2 years and owe like almost $24,000 from student debt. If you went to community college, majority of those people have zero debt after 2 years and getting an associate's degree. So why pay $24,000 you have to pay out of your pocket versus zero? So that's crazy. Okay, now here's another thing too. 72% of the graduates from a 2-year for-profit university, when they graduate, they are earning less than a high school dropout. So you just went to 2 years of college and now you're earning less money than a high school dropout. So is that really getting you a better job? 72%. So it's crazy. And actually what's interesting too is that, see, 90% of the money that the colleges, these 2-year colleges get, is from the government. It's you getting a government loan to give them, and then you graduate in 2 years with a debt you have to pay back and a lousy job. Now that's crazy. So when you go to community college with zero debt. Okay. Now here's another thing. The new rules coming out, and this is the reason why you should evaluate these people a little better. The new rules coming out are going to say that when somebody graduates, their loan can't be more than 20% of their discretionary earnings or 8% of their total earnings, and 30% of the students can't be in default. So if they're over 30% in default, they're not going to get government guaranteed money anymore. And what they say is there's 20% of the programs are already like that. So there's already 20% of these for-college universities that have an over 30% default rate, or are charging people more money than they can get, when they graduate, and they won't be able to stay in the program under these new rules. Now that's why these rules are just out to be talked about now before they go into effect. And they tried to bring them out last year, but the for-profit university lobbyists beat them down on it. They found their congressman friends, to push back on this. So it's amazing. And actually right now they say there's 1 million people in these schools who are going to be screwed when they graduate. And so there's already 1 million people. So be careful on these things. I mean, these for-profit universities, I mean, they're living off government money, that they're making you borrow to give them money, and you get nothing in return.